Welcome students. We are back with the Chemistry Simplified classes. Today we are going to start the class 12 lectures on surface chemistry. So as the name suggests, surface chemistry, we all know what is the surface. Now suppose if I take a cup of water, so we say this is the surface of this cup. Now we should know what is surface chemistry. So surface chemistry is that branch of chemistry that deals with the study with the nature of the surface and also the species that are present on it. So our major focus will be on the topics like adsorption, absorption, colloidal solution, and we will focus on the reduced syllabus by CBSE. So kindly follow me and try to take down the notes as much as possible. So let's get started. Surface chemistry. We will start with absorption. Now, what is absorption? Absorb. Now, suppose I have this cushion. This looks quite fluffy, right? But what will happen if I dip this cushion into a bucket full of water? You can try at home and you will find that this cushion will get swollen up and also it will be very heavy. Similarly, you notice when you are drinking tea along with biscuit. Sometimes what happens when you dip a biscuit in your tea, you will observe that after some time, if you keep it for longer, it will fall in your tea itself. Or you see, when you dip a chalk in a cup of water, you will observe that the chalk gets wet, right? Or sometimes you have also observed, you might have observed your mother or the halwai, whenever they prepare gulab jamun. So what they do, when they are preparing gulab jamun, they fry the gulab jamuns separately and they prepare the sugar syrup separately. So once they fry all the gulab jamuns, they put that into the sugar syrup. And after some time, you find that the gulab jamuns, they become very much soft and very sweet. Now, why does this happen? So we see that absorption takes place in all the three cases. In case of sponge and water. So when you take sponge and dip it into the water gets completely absorbed in the sponge, right? Similarly, the biscuit gets completely dipped in the tea, or we say chalk in water, or the gulab jamun in the sugar syrup. So in all these cases, what happens? One substance gets quite completely absorbed into the other substance. So this phenomena where one substance gets absorbed in the other substance is known as absorption. Absorption. Now, there are two another terms, that is absorbate. Absorbate and absorbent. Now, what is absorbate and what is absorbent? In all these three cases, what happens? Water gets absorbed in the sponge. Biscuit is absorbed in the tea. And the sugar syrup gets absorbed in the gulab jamun. So the substance which is being absorbed is called the absorbate. Substance which is being absorbed. Example, water. In this case, water is being absorbed. And the substance which absorbs, here in case sponge is absorbing water, biscuit is absorbing the tea, and the gulab jamun is absorbing the sugar syrup. So the substance which absorbs it is called the absorbent. Substance which absorbs is called the absorbent. Here in this case we have adsorbate or absorbent, you simply remember the solution. You know that solution is prepared when we have a solute and we have a solvent. So we can correlate the solute with the absorbate and solvent with absorbent. Correct? So this is absorption, where one substance gets absorbed into the other substance. Okay? Now let us discuss what is adsorption. This is clear? You can note it down or you can take a screenshot. So next we will discuss what is adsorption. So simply removing the B and adding a D. So this becomes adsorption. Okay, so let us discuss what is adsorption. Adsorption. Now, when you go to market, you buy a new bottle or a new purse, you find some small packets of silica gel into it, just like this. You might have seen this silica gel inside your bottle, new bottle or your new bag, and you wonder what is it? What is the function of this? So silica gel is used to absorb the moisture. So it doesn't allow the bad smell in the bag or the bottle. It is written do not throw away because it contains small beads, glass beads, which absorbs the moisture on its surface. Similarly, what is adsorption? Now, if I am writing on the board, I am writing with the pen on the board. Will you be able to see this on the back side of the board? No, we will not see. We will not observe it. Why? Because I am writing on the surface of the blackboard. So this is the surface where chalk is the adsorbate, because chalk is being, with the help of the chalk, we are writing on the whiteboard. Similarly, we use activated charcoal. When it is dipped into the dilute solution of methylene blue, the solution, the charcoal, they absorbs the dye, and you will find that the color of the solution slowly fades away. Why? Because the charcoal it absorbs the solution on its surface. So what is adsorption? Adsorption is basically a surface phenomena. It is a surface phenomena. Okay, so what happens here? One substance gets adsorbed on the surface of the other substance. That is, for example, we have silica gel or chalk and blackboard, or the activated charcoal, etc. So this is known as adsorbent. Now, what is adsorbate or what is absorbent? So the substance which is being adsorbed, is called adsorbate, and the substance which is adsorbing it is known as the adsorbent. So in this case, chalk is the adsorbate and the blackboard is the adsorbent. Okay, so is that clear? That might be clear for you. Adsorption and absorption. Okay, the next term is what is positive and negative adsorption. Positive adsorption and negative adsorption. Now, suppose if I draw here a beaker filled with water. Okay, and there are some substances into some molecules here. These are the molecules. Okay, now in case, suppose I have the adsorbent here, adsorbent, okay, and these are the molecules. So when the concentration of the adsorbate is more on the surface of the adsorbent, then we get positive adsorption. We get positive adsorption. So when the concentration of adsorbate is more on the surface as compared to the bulk, then it is a positive adsorption. Whereas when the concentration of adsorbate is less on the surface as compared to the bulk phase, then it is a negative adsorption. Then it is a negative adsorption. Okay, alright. So this is positive adsorption and this is negative adsorption. When the concentration of the adsorbate is more on the surface of the adsorbent, then it is the positive adsorption. When it is less on the surface and more on the bulk, then it is the negative adsorption. Alright, now we will see, we are learning what is absorption, adsorption, but what is the reason of this adsorption? Now we will discuss that. Why does this adsorption take place anyway? So let us see that. If you need, you can take the screenshots available. Reason for adsorption. Reason for adsorption. Now, see, we have a beaker filled with water. Alright, the beaker, and there is a molecule present in the bulk. One molecule is present in the bulk. So what will happen to this molecule? Now this molecule is going to get the force of attraction from all the sides. So this from this side, from this side, from this side, from this side. This molecule will be getting force of attraction from all the four sides. Thus, it will have a balanced force of attraction. Now, if the forces are balanced, then definitely it will be stable. And if it is stable, then it will have less energy. Now, suppose if there is a molecule on the surface of the liquid. Suppose there is a liquid molecule here. What will happen to this? This molecule will get force of attraction from only three sides. That means it will have unbalanced force of attraction. If the forces of attraction are not balanced, then it is going to be unstable. And if it is unstable, then definitely it will have high energy. Therefore, in order to balance the force of attraction, what it is going to do, if any species, suppose it comes in contact, suppose there is a molecule here, okay, so if there is any species that comes in contact with the surface molecule, what will happen? There will be a force of attraction. It will try to absorb it, and whenever there is a force of attraction, what happens? Energy is released. Right. So now what will happen? If this molecule is absorbed by the other molecule, it will have forces of attraction from all the sides. Thus, now it will have balanced force of attraction. It will become stable. Now after gaining stable, what will happen? It will have low energy. And one more thing, since energy is released, that is why it is an exothermic reaction. So we can say that adsorption is a exothermic process. Okay, so it is exothermic in nature. Alright, so once again I repeat what happens. What is the reason of adsorption? Basically, the molecule that is present in the bulk that experiences the force of attraction from all the directions. That is why it has the balanced force of attraction. Because it has balanced force of attraction, that is why it is stable and has low energy. Whereas the molecule that is present on the surface of the liquid, it experiences unbalanced force of attraction, thus it is unstable and has high energy. So in order to balance the force of attraction, what it does, it takes away, or it tries to absorb the molecule that comes in contact with it, and thus it can balance the force of attraction. And once the forces of attraction are balanced, what happens, it becomes stable and the energy is lessened. That means it will have low energy. Thus we can say it is an exothermic process. Alright, so moving on, next is the difference between adsorption and absorption. Adsorption and absorption. Difference between adsorption and absorption. So what is adsorption and what is absorption? First is, adsorption is a surface phenomenon. It occurs on the surface. Whereas absorption is a bulk phenomenon. It happens in the bulk. Secondly, whenever there is adsorption, it happens non-uniformly. So it is having a non-uniform distribution. Whereas in absorption, there is a uniform distribution. You might have noticed when you eat gulab jamun, it doesn't happen that the first bite is sweet and the second bite is not. The third bite is sweet and the fourth part is not. It appears sweet overall. That means it is having a uniform distribution. Third is, process is exothermic. Whereas absorption is neither exothermic nor endothermic. It doesn't happen that when you put a sponge in the water, it becomes hot. It doesn't happen. So we can say it is neither exothermic nor endothermic. Then next, what about the rate of absorption? Now, initially what happens, the rate of absorption is high in the beginning, is rapid in the beginning. Why? Because of the availability of the surface area. Because of the availability of surface area. But later it reduces because the surface area is taken up. So there is no more surface area left. That is why the rate of adsorption reduces. Whereas the rate of absorption in the case of absorption is uniform. Rate of absorption is uniform. Then what happens? Is it dependent on surface area? Is it independent? Yes, definitely this is dependent on surface area, whereas absorption is independent of the surface area. So this is the difference between absorption and adsorption. So I hope this much is clear to all of you. So kindly you can take a screenshot or you can note it down. And in the next class we are going to talk about desorption and the types of adsorption classified on the basis of the nature of forces that are present between them. If you liked my lecture, kindly like and subscribe my video. Thank you.